Um, Again, I'm going to tell you about some of the services that we have to offer here in the city. But before I do that, I want to kind of piggyback on some stuff that Jackson said earlier, which was really touching. The fact that the youth in our community are the most important assets we have on a day, every single day. All right, here in the city of West Palm, we lose a lot of young people due to violence, senseless violence. And it is our job as a community to come together to work to change that. Right now, some of this violence seems to be a norm in our community, and it shouldn't. Most people just think this is something that is okay, and it's not. This year we've had a lot of homicides. Our rates are going up where we'd rather see them go down. But a lot of it is, the lack of trust in the community. I know there's a lot of people out there who may know something that saw something, but because of the lack of trust that they have within the law enforcement community, they tend to not reach out to us to provide that information that could be critical in solving these cases. So part of the reason that I'm here today is to say that, we're here, we're part of the community. It shouldn't be us versus them. We are a part of the community. So as a member of law enforcement, I want to make sure you guys understand that, especially young people. As an officer, I wasn't always an officer. I was a kid at one point, so I understand where you guys are coming from when it comes to certain things, but just know that we are here for you guys. We shouldn't be losing these young people. Parents should not have to bury their kids. All right, it should be the other way around. Some of the positive stuff that we're doing here in the community, in the city of West Palm, we have what's called Cops and Scholars, which is one of our newest initiatives in the city within the juvenile division. We realize that a lot of times that resources are going towards kids who are already in the system, kids who are already getting some of the services, and some of these kids are getting multiple agencies that's providing services. So Cops and Scholars is an opportunity for us as a community to give back to those kids who are doing well. May not be, those straight A students who's getting scholarships and stuff like that, but some of the kids who are just going to school, maintaining those passing grades, It doesn't have to be A's and B's. It could be, they were getting F's, but then they progressed and now they're getting D's. We want to reward those students. So once a week, every Thursday, our unit, along with a member of our command staff, will go out in the community. We select kids through some of our partners that we work with, and we actually take those kids out to dinner. And it's not McDonald's, it's not Burger King. A nice sit-down restaurant, whether it's at City Place, Grease Restaurant, Duffy's. There's several other businesses in the community that actually say, hey, listen, we'll foot the bill. Just bring the kids. They can have a nice sit-down meal, have a dialogue, have that positive conversation with, members of law enforcement, and those men and women, those young men and women, get to see a different side of law enforcement. So these are not the straight A students. These are the kids who are just maintaining, doing what is right, even though we know that there's a lot of challenges and struggles that they face on a daily basis, but we're taking them out. Also here in the city, we have a neighborhood accountability board. So for young men and women under the age of 18 who committed a first-time misdemeanor offense, rather than that arrest going to the state attorney's office, we handle it in-house. So that case never makes it over to the state attorney's office. I'm actually the coordinator that oversees that program. So we will basically handle that in a restorative justice manner. So rather than addressing the crime that was committed, we address the harm that was committed. Because as we know, we want these kids to see that every negative thing they do in their life, there's always how it impacts the community. So if it's shoplifting, we'll let them know that just because you took this item, great, you think that this company can afford it, but then we show them that the other side, where now we as consumers have to pay a little bit more because of that crime that they committed. So rather than put them in handcuffs, we basically have them go out there and do work in the community in which they live to show that the impact of their crime, the impact it has on our community. So that's another service that we offer. Now we have more officers in the schools, building that positive relationship with our young adults, our young kids. We have the GREAT program, which is a gang resistance program here in the city. We're starting at third grade, because we realize a lot of these kids this is the environment, this is the community in which they live. So they see all this stuff outside of the boundaries of the schools. So once they go out in the communities, we do have officers that are out there helping them stay on that positive track, because we do realize it's not something that we can just take care of during those hours that they're in school. We understand that once they leave, mom and dad has other responsibilities as well. They have to work. They have to make sure that they can support the family. So we're going to be out there to assist them in any way, shape, or form. So if you guys know any positive kids in our community that's doing something positive, please reach out to me. If you guys want to copy my number, my office number, I'll give it to you guys. It's 561-822-1824. That's the City of West Palm Beach Police Department Juvenile Unit. Myself or any of the officers on my team will be more than willing to speak to you guys. Again, we have to help our young people, all right? It's only fair that we provide the best for them. So in order to do that, I know it takes a village, and we are a part of that village. We are not against you guys. A lot of times people think it's, like I said before, us against them, but we're all together. We're all together. And part of the reason that I'm here is to harbor that positive relationship between law enforcement, the law enforcement community, and our community. All right? Any questions?
What's the number again?
The number is 561-822-8. So it's 561-822-1829 or 561-822-1824.